Ponyo, you be the boat's lookout.
I'm the lookout.
ソスケだ。あいつは天才だ。
You heard it up top. We're diving back in, getting back into Hayao Miyazaki with 2008's Ponyo here on Normies Like Us. With your hosts, I guess, Mike Izaki.
And this is Jake Izaki.
Yeah, and
What's
Colin
up,
Zaki.
Miyazakis?
He's stuck out at sea. Actually, he's stuck on his boat.
Oh,
There's
man.
bad weather, and so he's unable to make it for this episode, unfortunately.
I tried to send him a message in Morse code, but I don't think he understood. He just kept, coding back curse words at me. So I don't know. What's going on there.
I don't know what's going on. I think it'll probably be fine though by next episode. But we're back a little bit early due to scheduling for Miyazaki. That's we kind of flip-flopped a couple episodes, but
Yeah, well, we should mention because when this comes out, we'll have just seen the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season
Correct.
1, and we will be talking about that next week. But yeah, due to some scheduling, we had to push that to next week so we could get our friend Colin on it as well, and
safely
so
on dry land. Yeah,
that's right. Hopefully he'll want to become a real boy if he lets me give him a magical kiss.
If we love him true and proud in our hearts, he can become a real boy.
We're back in Miyazaki land, and we're talking Ponyo, the 2008 Febuzaki. Almost done with Miyazaki. We've got Ponyo. We've got
The Wind Rises.
Wind Rises next, and then we have The Boy and the Heron, the perhaps final Miyazaki film of his career.
And then we'll have then an undetermined bonus episode around the Miyazaki world. But as far as the ones that he directed, there's only 2 more after this. So what a journey.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And so today we're talking Ponyo, which is Miyazaki's sort of return to the children's film that he really, My Neighbor Totoro, of course, being the big example. So this definitely is aimed at a younger audience compared to some of his other movies. But it's it's still a very magical tale, and we love it. Great
it's a
animation,
fish tale,
of course.
as you were. But yeah, it's interesting too because the weather in Los Angeles where we are, it's been really cold and rainy lately.
Oh, so cold.
So as I was watching it, I'm like having the same weather as the movie. We'll get into it, but I was like, this is kind of perfect actually. All this wet weather and just Ponyo's a good one to throw on.
So you get nice and cozy with your tea. You can get a little ham,
ramen
in your ramen.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Nothing better. I love ham. But I got my little 3D printed boat for the viewers.
Nice.
And maybe we could make
that's
it
the boat that they ride on.
Yeah. Similarly, which that's cool. We'll talk about that. But this was a first viewing for me. I'd never seen Ponyo. The rest of these remaining 3 I've never seen. So these are all first watches for me, this home stretch. How about you, though? Have you seen this before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one I saw when it came out in 2008. I actually did see this one in theaters. And I think this is the first Miyazaki film I saw in theaters when it came out. Because at this point, I'm a teenager and I'm interested in film at this point. I'm thinking about going to college for film and all that stuff. So I'm like, I really need to, see all the films I can and really broaden my horizons, watch foreign films and stuff. And of course I knew all about Miyazaki by this point. So I was like, this is the first one that came out where I really took notice. And I was like, I'm going to go see that in theaters. The English dub, of course.
Right. I think it came out in 2009, a couple months later. But what was that theater experience like, especially because this is probably his most directly aimed at young children movie,
Yeah, I don't remember it too well, to be honest with you. But it was good. I mean, I liked the movie, but definitely not my favorite Miyazaki film. Not that it's bad in any way. It's just not, the subject matter. It's not as interesting as maybe some of the other films. So by this point, I'd already seen Spirited Away and, what else? Princess Mononoke, probably. And some other ones
we just talked about, which I really liked. Howls.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm ready for another Miyazaki movie. And then, of course, what we got is a more similar to My Neighbor Totoro, of course, which I had also seen. Kiki's Delivery Service, I think I had seen as well. So I was like, yeah, so it's more of a younger kids type movie, but I still enjoy it. It's a very pleasant film.
Yeah, yeah. It's a it's a take on The Little Mermaid, which was also the book, not
Yes.
just a Disney movie. It's like sort of a it's definitely straightly influenced, but it's very different. But it's
Yeah.
kind of loosely inspired by The Little Mermaid kind of vibes.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely noticed that with the magical fish girl that wants to become a human.
where the people
Uh
are.
yeah, she wants to go where the people are.
Collect forks, couple
Um
forks.
It doesn't have that element from at least the Disney version that I know where she loses her voice, right, when she turns into a human.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She can't
Um,
talk.
and obviously that, I mean, obviously in the story that we know from the Disney version, they're a little bit older, so it makes the romantic angles a little makes a little more sense. Whereas this one, they're still young kids. There's that definitely that sort of a kid romance, but they're not like gonna get
Yeah.
married anytime soon.
No, it's like your kindergarten like crush or whatever. Like it's that childhood bond of like friendship of we're friends forever kind of thing. Um,
Right.
but yeah, fish, human, the whole deal. But yeah, I guess there was also Miyazaki was reading, and we'll jump into it in a second, but the Little Mermaid book, and he was like, I don't like the idea that she in the book she doesn't have a soul until she finds true love or whatever. And he's like,
Right.
then you look at Ponyo and its character with so much energy and soul and like life in that character, so you can definitely see he's like, nah, fuck that, fish
Yeah.
person's gonna have a soul, but
And it's interesting,
um,
like if you look at the Disney version, like it's a little bit regressive in that, like she trades her voice away, her ability to speak to be with a man, right? So she's like
right,
she's giving up her power to be with a man. It's kind of, if you look at it that way, it's regressive. And this is a little more like she doesn't need Sosuke. She's just wants to
right.
become a human, and she loves ham.
Yeah, she loves ham. There is an element of her giving away her ocean powers or whatever, but it's not
But
like
it's also like she wants to be independent and like break free from her father's control and like become her own
yeah.
person, I guess. You could see it that way.
This is definitely I think my favorite version. I like it more than the Disney one. Let's say that much.
Yeah,
It's more fun. So yeah, let's dive into it. I guess let's
let's do it.
hop in our little car, zoom up this cliff to where the house is, and talk about Ponyo. Gaki no Ue no Ponyo. Right after this, we're back. We're talking Ponyo, aka Gaki no Ue no Ponyo. Ponyo on the cliff. Japanese title or the cliff by the
Mm.
seaside, whatever you want to do it. Yeah, it's fishing time. I don't know a ton about the development of this except for after Howl's he wanted to do some more ambitious animation stuff. He did want to do another kind of childhood centered movie.
Mm.
And then The Little Mermaid and just some kind of random stuff. Do you know anything kind of about how Ponyo came about per se?
Basically that, I think what you just said. And like I know, so his producer Toshio Suzuki, who if you've seen any of the documentaries about
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli and stuff, he's a big presence within Ghibli and kind of keeps everything organized for the different directors and stuff in Miyazaki. And he suggested that they make another film directed at children, such as My Neighbor Totoro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously, like you said, Miyazaki was inspired by The Little Mermaid, the Hans Christian Andersen original story.
Right.
Um, and like you said, yeah, he wanted to make some changes in that the protagonist didn't have a soul. Uh, so
I
yeah,
hadn't
that's mainly it.
realized. Yeah, I
Mhm.
hadn't realized how many of his works were like adaptations of like fairy tales or old
Yeah,
stories. Like that's an interesting thing I've learned throughout this journey. This one's the most
it's interesting. He's
explicitly. Yeah.
yeah, he's so interested in like European uh f- folklore and fantasy and stuff like that. With even like Howl's Moving Castle and Kiki's were based on like Western source material, I
Right.
guess.
And like this one is too, but it also weirdly like this one feels like very Japanese as
Yeah.
opposed to something like Howl's. Like besides Mononoke, which feels like feudal Japan, this feels like the most Japanese of the
Mm.
Studio Ghibli movies as far as like its setting. Like it has like
Mhm.
the name of the adult daycare centers in Japanese. And he went to, I'm trying to find the name of it, but he went to a seaside town in Japan to like study the vibes over there.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
when he was
Yeah, it's
making this. So
very picturesque town that they live in, this seaside town. And of course, the animation and the art is beautiful as always. But it's very scenic. And, obviously Japan, there's a lot of places in Japan that are like that and very just very nice
yeah.
places to live and very pretty to look at.
And yeah, there's like, the oceanside vibes. Like, there's a lot of good, it's an island. So there's a lot of oceanside vibes in Japan. So he went to, I found it now,
Yeah.
Tomonoura is the city that he was chilling in to kind of get that feeling. So, and even there's something about like the age of Sosuke being 5 years old and having this kind of independence arc. Like some people in the
Right.
West are like, you're going to let him watch the house, not to jump too far ahead, but like in Japan, you're going to school,
Right, only
riding
being
the
5
train
years
by
old.
yourself at a very young
Yeah.
age. Yeah. So it's kind of more normal.
I feel like, they let children be more independent from a younger age. And I feel like maybe part of that is, lower crime in a lot of areas of
Yeah.
Japan, or more public order. So like, that you can let your kid just walk to school by himself and not have to worry so much about something bad happening to them, I guess.
And there's like
Different culture. Yeah.
and it's walkable too. You don't have to. There's not crosswalks to worry, but not as many. There's trains and stuff. It's more human centered civic design.
Yeah.
So it's safer in that sense too.
Right. And I know also I want to mention Sosuke is based on Miyazaki's son, Goro Miyazaki,
Oh, I didn't know
who
that.
of course followed in his father's footsteps, and they've had sort of a contentious working relationship as an adult because he just wants to live up to his father, and his father is perpetually sort of disappointed in his work and stuff. But
Okay, yeah.
but Sosuke is based on Goro Miyazaki.
Well, no, you see his dad in the movie. Koichi is like a captain, and then he likes
Right.
boats. It's kind of that he looks up to his
Yeah.
dad. So I see that.
And also maybe it's some self-reflection on Miyazaki, where it's like the dad in this movie is pretty much like always at work for the whole film. Like you don't
Yeah.
really see him that much. He's always away on the boat. And, growing up, Hayao Miyazaki was always working and maybe not the best father in terms of being present for his kid when he was younger. And so maybe that's some self-reflection that he sees in himself of
Yeah.
critiquing himself, being always working and not having time for his children.
That's true, and I guess that's one aspect about this that I really liked is the mother-son relationship of Lisa and Sosuke. Like we haven't gotten a lot of that. We had the father-daughter relationships in Totoro, but this kind of Lisa and Sosuke with Ponyo eventually added in. I really like the Lisa character in this, and we haven't had maybe that type of character too many times in these movies.
True. Yeah. I thought it was interesting too that Sosuke calls her Lisa, like she's his mom, but he calls her by her first name, Lisa and Koichi, his mom and dad.
Yeah, she'll just say, not your dad's coming home, Koichi's coming home later, It's like, I thought that was interesting too. I guess that's just to show
the significance of that. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just like there's a respect there, like we're equals, like there's some kind of level of trust almost?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I did find that interesting.
Yeah. Now, of course, I watched this in the Japanese language version. I've also seen it in the English version, of course. I'm assuming you watched it in Japanese as well.
Yeah. But the American cast we should shout out because they always have a stacked cast here.
I was going to mention.
Go for it.
Well, what's interesting? So, the two kids, Ponyo and Sosuke, Ponyo was played by Noah Cyrus, who is Miley Cyrus's younger sister.
Right.
And then Sosuke is played by Frankie Jonas, who is the younger brother of the Jonas Brothers.
The bonus Jonas.
The bonus Jonas.
Yeah.
Wow.
So two of these young kind of musical family kids come in, and then they recorded the theme song too, because it's like, oh, you're all musical kids. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, 2008. So this was almost 20 years ago now, which is crazy to think about.
Jeez. Yeah.
But they were just kids at that time. Now they would be in their 20s.
Yeah.
But a little bit of stunt casting there to be like, we got Miley Cyrus's sister and the bonus Jonas brother.
Yeah.
But which I hadn't heard of them. I guess Noah Cyrus also went into music as an older person too, but not as well known as Miley Cyrus, obviously.
Right.
But then the rest of the cast, you have Tina Fey as Lisa, you have
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon as Koichi, Liam Neeson as Fujimoto,
Yep.
Kate Blanchett as Grand Mamar,
Yes.
uh, and then you
Yeah.
have the old ladies, which were played by Betty White and Lily Tomlin and Cloris Leachman
Oh, dude.
at
Nice.
the senior center. Yeah,
Way to get, yeah, Betty Whiteley. That's great, actually. I hadn't thought
so you got
about
some big names.
the
And
casting.
Tina Fey, obviously Lisa is a big part of this movie, so Tina Fey is maybe like, other than the kids, the number one most important part.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Damon, Liam Neeson, Kate Blanchett, pretty good
A,
cast.
a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Fallout, and, the Ponyo has something in common with the Vault Dweller in that both of their dads are Liam Neeson, you know?
Yeah, in Fallout
So
3. Uh-huh.
that's right. That's right. So she doesn't leave the vault. She leaves the submarine to head to the surface, but,
That's
both had
right.
Liam
But
Neeson
Liam
as their dad.
Neeson, kind of a perfect choice for Fujimoto in the English version, if you
Yeah.
if you're aware of who he is and everything. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
what
not
if he
bad.
he goes to Lisa's house and he's like, I have a very specific set of skills. It's like,
Yeah,
where's Ponyo?
and then he starts talking about midi-chlorians.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh, he does. Yeah. So he'll
Ponyo has
take
a very high level of midi-chlorians. You don't understand.
midichlorians. That's right. But we start the movie on his character, underwater. It's like looks like this primordial soup. He's like creating life with these vials, like little microorganisms that
Yeah.
become more complex, jellyfish, and we're introduced right away to just this like underwater world. Essentially, we're gonna be very focused on
Mhm.
water. This is Totoro, but on the water,
It's very
basically.
aquatic. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where the fantasy element comes in of like the larger, like what's going on with Fujimoto, who's like some kind of ocean wizard, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then later we'll meet Ponyo's mom,
Mm-hmm.
Grand Mamar, who's
He's
like some kind
essentially
of
an ocean
ocean
deity.
goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Fujimoto, who is sort of like, he says he used to be human. So I don't
Yeah.
know what he is now. He still looks like a human, but he's sort of you know, humanity. He's sort of doesn't like humanity now, right?
No, he's jaded. They pollute the ocean.
Yeah.
We see even when Ponyo goes out on her adventure and she gets pulled in the dragnet, like literally the dragnet behind the boat. There's like just a ton of litter flying past her too. Like it's kind of like in Spirited
Right.
Away where you just see like the old bicycles and stuff at the bottom of the river that are just there
Oh
because of
yeah.
pollution.
hmm And of
Um,
course, it's Miyazaki. He's got to get his environmentalism
yep.
in there. And yeah, it's kind of all about how, yeah, like humans are trashing the world and they're like throwing it off, nature off balance and stuff. Again, there's the theme of nature being in balance and harmony, like keeping the world together. And humans are, throwing that balance
Upsetting
off
that.
with all their litter and everything, their pollution that they do. So he's right to
Yeah.
be sort of jaded by humanity.
And that's very Miyazaki, of course, the environmentalism. And I guess he was kind of inspired by Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the
Oh,
Sea, where it's like
mhm.
he lost his family and just studied underwater stuff and eventually like stopped liking the surface as much. So it's kind of like that. Those vibes are in there subtly.
Yeah, and I love the design of Fujimoto. Like he's got a cool look as like this wizard. He rides around in like this submarine boat thing. Like he's got all this cool underwater shit and drinking out of drinking
He looks
potions and whatnot.
he looks
Yeah.
very tired. um,
Yeah, he's very like his eyes are like sunken. He's like got this long hair and everything.
yeah, yeah.
But
We had
pretty
like
cool.
Pretty Boy Sorcerer Bird Boy with Howl, and then we just have
Right.
like Burnout Sorcerer with a cool jacket man with
Yeah.
Fujimoto. Um,
Yeah, he's just tired of humanity. He's like, man, it would be better if like humans just didn't exist and nature could just thrive again.
he's plotting to have eventually like it seems like a flood event. He's like, once this well fills
Right.
up, the waters are going to rise and we're going to reset. So
Yeah, he's like some kind of eco terrorist, basically. He's gonna
kind
wipe
of,
out
yeah.
humanity.
And
But
then
he's
Ponyo.
become jaded,
Hmm.
but then later gets sort of convinced that maybe humanity isn't as bad as he thought.
I think that's his arc because yeah, Ponyo escapes and wants to become a human, and by the end, he's like, you know what? Yeah, Ponyo wanted to become a human. I was trying to prevent it, but it turns out that maybe they're not too bad because this Sosuke kid. Yeah, I like the cut of his
Yeah.
jib, and he shakes his hand, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is gonna work
He
out.
regains his faith in humanity somewhat.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we meet his daughter and his daughters, you could say.
Yeah.
Ponyo
Hundreds.
and all her sisters, which are like smaller versions of her, which I don't totally understand, but
No, I don't fully understand that either, but okay.
and she's like a fish, but she has like almost a human head with a face and hair.
Yeah.
But she wants to become fully human, and she's just very independent. So she wants to break free of her father's control, go to the surface, and like see what's out there, right?
Yeah. And I love this opening sequence. It's like 8 minutes before there's any dialogue. And it's just, you see her and she's like trying to sneak out the window. Like they tell it all without any dialogue. Like she's trying to sneak out. He doesn't want her to. And like, just they get that narrative across totally through visuals alone. And I'm like, damn it, you guys are going crazy. There's all these weird fish. She's like
Yeah,
floats up on a jellyfish. Just all this like really
right.
imaginative stuff going on. And it's like without having to do any dialogue. It's like, you guys are cooking, at least visually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very imaginative. Like again, the art and the animation is just incredible, but as it always is. But yeah, this movie looks really good. And it's so colorful and like all the aquatic animals and everything, like you're saying, like it's just really, really great
Yeah, yeah,
art.
yeah. So she's swimming up, she gets pulled in the dragnet, and then eventually gets stuck in a bottle, a glass bottle that washes up where Sosuke finds
Yeah.
her. And he kind of saves her,
Again,
busts her out of the bottle, cuts his fingy. Um,
yeah.
and
Pollution
then
of humanity. She almost
her first
dies
event
because
is
of it.
almost dying in the bottle. Yeah, she's lucky there
Yeah.
wasn't a 6-pack plastic rings out there. She'd have been done
Right.
for.
Always cut those. Yeah.
You always cut them. Ducks get stuck.
Right.
Um,
But yeah, Sosuke saves her, and he's like, "Cool, a fish," and then puts her in a little bucket, and they kind of bond. And oh
yep.
yeah, like you said, he cut his finger on the bottle, and she licks his finger, and magically the cut goes away and heals.
Yes.
But she also tasted human blood.
Which
So,
no coming back from that. Yeah.
no,
Um, but yeah,
which would
so
be
he
important.
that'll pay off. But he puts her in a little green bucket, and his mom's like, and I didn't. This is at first when he's like, Lisa, I'm down by the ocean, whatever. And then she's like, all right, come on. I thought it was his sister at first. Like, oh, this is
Oh,
interesting.
because he's
Like
calling her Lisa and stuff.
initially, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I almost thought she was like his babysitter, or like his caregiver while his
Mm,
mom's at work or something. But then
right.
I do realize later that she's his mom, but she's also, she has a 5-year-old kid, so she's younger. She's probably like in her mid 30s,
Yeah.
which is a normal age to be when you have a 5-year-old, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally normal. And yeah, so he has the bucket. They're going down to, she's going to work. He's going to go to school. They're going to have a sandwich. Turns out Ponyo likes ham.
She gets that
But
taste for ham. First, she gets the taste for human blood, and then she gets the taste for ham,
for ham, yeah,
and that's
all
all she
meat.
can think about it. Yeah.
That's right. And then even Lisa, I like this interaction though when she's like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, I got a fish." It's like, "Okay, cool. You're gonna take that to school? Won't your teacher be mad?" "Oh, if you say so." "All right, cool. Catch
Right.
you later." So it's okay. She's very chill about it, you know?
Yeah, she's very chill, and even later, when he's like, "Oh yeah, this is Ponyo. She used to be a fish. Now she's like a little girl." And Lisa just kind of rolls with it and just like, "I guess, yeah, sure, whatever."
That reminds me a lot of Totoro, the dad. Like, "Oh, there was a forest spirit." It's like, "Oh, well, let's go
Yeah.
say thank you to the spirit tree for helping us find May." Like, he's not like, "You're making that up." They just roll with it, and I think that's good. Like
Right.
parenting style to like, yeah, let your kids be imaginative and don't shut them down. So yeah, I like
Hmm.
that Lisa's actively doing that.
And obviously later she sees some like magical shit with everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so Lisa works at a nursing home, a senior center.
Yep.
Um, and so she takes care of the elderly people that live there, the elderly ladies. And Sosuke visits, when his mom's working there, and all the older ladies love, talking to him and stuff. Except there's one kind of grumpy older lady, but Sosuke also wins her over because he's just such a nice little boy.
Right. She means well. She just doesn't like fish that are going to bring tsunamis, which in fact she does by the end of the movie. So she was vindicated in saying, "Yo, Ponyo's bad news."
True, true. Yeah,
The tsunami is her fault. But luckily nobody
right.
dies because it's a Ghibli movie and everybody's just chill about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end when you see like the whole town flooded, I was like, oh, I hope no one was like stuck in their house and stuff. But I think
No,
it
and you
was all
see
right.
this caravan of boats, which I guess you would have as a seaside village, but everyone's just like, "Yep, we're on the boats now." Nobody's upset like about their house being
Yeah,
flooded. That's
they're
not what's
used to it
important.
being on
Yeah,
the
that's
coast of Japan.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Uh, excuse me. So yeah, he takes Ponyo to school, hides her in a bush, and then he's like, "Oh, what if a cat comes?" And he puts the leaf on top. We're like, "Yep, that'll stop a cat. You nailed it." But
Right.
it's like so it's like nailing like what a kid would do. You know, it's like
Yeah.
perfect. Like writing for what a kid that age how
Yeah.
they'd act.
And I
So
like Sosuke when he's at school and he's kind of a ladies' man. Like he's got these girls coming up to
yeah,
him like, Sosuke, like, let's play or whatever. He's like, I don't know, man. I gotta get back to my
kind
fish.
of busy. I got
Yeah.
a
And they're like, what are you
job.
talking about? Yeah, and then the one girl like sees the fish and is like, you're not supposed to have that there and stuff. But yeah, Sosuke, very popular at school.
Yeah, but then Ponyo's got a little bit of attitude. She spits the water on the girl.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so you see that kind of strength of character that Ponyo has even in fish form. That
Yeah.
she'll
That's her number one move, spitting water on someone.
that is her number one
She
move.
loves it.
It's
Yeah.
like what's the like the first level water gun Pokemon. It's like the first thing that Squirtle has. So
Oh, true,
that's a
true.
level one Pokemon that would track.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like we get the Ponyo, and then he eventually takes her to the senior center because he's like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble because the girl's crying when he sprays water. So he runs to the senior center. He's showing her to the grannies. The one granny's like, oh, that's gonna bring a tsunami. I don't like that. Guess what? Water gun for you too, lady. Um,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and then that's when he gets caught by Lisa. Is like, oh, Sosuke, I know you're here. You're not in school. He runs down to the bottom of the cliff, and that's when Fujimoto kind of comes up and uses these wave creatures to retrieve Ponyo out of the
Yeah.
bucket. Yeah,
Right.
so that's kind of
Oh, and we
Act
didn't
One.
mention when earlier. So when they're about to drive to
Mm,
when Lisa's about to drive to work, and we see Fujimoto, who's like realizes that Pony has gone missing, so he goes to the surface. And I love this like little
yeah,
device that he has that sprays water in front of him. So he has to spray water before he walks on land to like keep himself hydrated.
it's like the Davy Jones standing in the bucket of seawater in Pirates,
Yeah.
and that has to be
Yeah.
Super Mario Sunshine. The guys who made that game saw
Mm.
this movie and were like, "Yo, let's give that to Mario."
Right.
Um,
Yeah, he's got this little sprayer thing, and he comes up, and then Lisa's like, "That better not be weed killer. Like, we don't use weed killer around here." He's like, "It's not weed killer. It's like it's ocean
it
water."
keeps me
He's like,
hydrated.
"All right."
Yeah.
She's like, "What a weirdo," and like
Yeah, but
drives away.
and that's a subtle kind of protect the environment thing too. Like, yo, we don't use weed killer
Yeah,
here. It's bad for the nature, right? We
right.
don't do that. Yeah,
Pesticides. Yeah,
yeah. So she just
herbicide.
takes off. What a weird guy. But yeah, then he eventually gets
Yeah,
Ponyo back.
who's this
Um,
creep? Yeah,
yeah, and Sosuke's very sad about it. And then I like that, like she gets him ice cream. Like, I'm sorry you lost your Ponyo, but we got to go home
yeah,
now.
yeah. Right.
um, and she drives like Lupin the Third. Her little car. She's like Tokyo
Oh
drifting.
yeah.
She drives like a madman.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that when she's going, she's like, yeah, she's Tokyo drifting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it just reminded me of Cagliostro with that little in their little yellow car whipping around the
Yeah,
freeway. Uh,
totally.
takes it all the way back to his first movie, I guess is the point of that. But yeah, they get back. Uh, Sosuke's like, "Hey, I'm gonna hang the bucket on this fence post. It'll probably help. If Ponyo wants to find us again. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea. You do that." Um, oh, and she's
Yeah,
cooking up
that's
the
when they
big
go back
dinner.
to. Yeah, yeah, they go back home and she's cooking dinner. She's like, "Yeah, Koichi will be home soon," but then they get a call from
Mm-hmm.
the boat, or I guess well, he's communicating with the boat with the Morse code with the lights, right? And
Yeah,
then he's like, or I guess, yeah, I guess
she
there
does
is
get a
like
call.
he does get a call, and he's like, yeah, he's not going to be home, and she's like, well, I guess no point in cooking this dinner. Let's go out to eat, and then Sosuke's like, no, I want to eat here.
And then she just
Um,
grabs a beer out of the fridge, like fuck it, and like
yeah,
she's so done. Um,
she's just
but I like showing the
struggling as
side of
a
her where she's
right,
frustrated that her husband's not there. I'm raising a 5 year
yeah,
old. She's like carrying in the groceries and opening the door with one hand. It's like subtle stuff. Like she's doing it all, and
yeah.
it makes sense that she would get frustrated. That's like a
But I
very
like the
human.
moments when Sosuke like cheers her up and stuff. Like those are really nice.
Right?
It's like
Yeah.
he's a good kid.
No, because it's like I get why she would be frustrated if her husband's not home and she's doing the nursing homework and all this stuff. You're allowed to get angry or frustrated, but then Koichi like really looks up to his dad and thinks it's cool that he works on the boat, you know. And so when he's saying, "Hey, Dad, what's up?" you know, and then she's saying "baka baka baka" to you know,
baka,
it's just a really fun scene, right?
Right.
um,
He's like,
it's more complex.
tell your mother
yeah.
I love her and stuff, and she's like, BAKA, BAKA,
Yeah.
like basically calling him a jerk,
Yeah.
which is what it translates to in the subtitles. But
Yeah.
she's kind of frustrated with him working so much, and she has to take care of Sosuke so much by herself.
Right, and then she's like laying down, kind of exhausted, and Sosuke comes in, and then he cheers her up, and then she's like, you know what, we're gonna have a great time anyway, and then it's kind of this flip of like, you know what, she's a great mom, and
it's a really nice, mother-son relationship that, like you said, we haven't seen in a Miyazaki movie, but yeah, and Sosuke, he's such a nice young lad. You really have to like him.
well, yeah, and because we've had like mother figures in like Spirited Away, but it was with Sen, you know, it's like a mother-daughter
Right.
relationship. This is our first kind of mother-son relationship, which is cool to see. And I like that they're both caretakers. Like the first thing Sosuke does is rescues Ponyo and says, "I'm going to take care of you." And then she works at a senior center taking care of people, like taking care of things and showing love to things is like a big theme of this. Taking care of the environment. Don't use that. Better not be weed killer, right? We take care of the things.
Right. Totally.
So I thought that was a good kind of theme. So yeah, he's a good little lad.
Yeah. Yeah. So meanwhile, Ponyo's back with her father, Fujimoto.
Oh yeah, and this is where we get Brunhilde. What are you doing? She's like, my name's not Brunhilde
My name's
anymore.
not Brunhilde. It's Ponyo.
And I'm gonna be a human.
Yeah, I love ham.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what?
You ate
Ponyo Hamada Daisuki da, whatever they say.
Hamuga daisuki. Yeah, hamuga ski. Yeah. And so she's just telling him, I'm gonna be a human. Nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna do it. And he's like, no, change back. She's getting her little weird legs and stuff now.
Yeah. So basically what we learn is that with her magic, because she had tasted human blood, she has human blood in her DNA or whatever now, and she can use that to basically become a human with her magic.
Yeah.
And Fujimoto's trying to stop her. He's like, you're gonna like throw the balance off and of nature and all this stuff. And yeah, like he has this plan where he's like filling up a magic well or something that's gonna like flood the earth or something.
Yeah.
Not sure what was going on there exactly,
but he's losing I like when he's like unable to stop her transforming and he's like, I need more power, and he just goes and drinks like 6 different vials of this stuff. I'm like, oh man. Really want to take it easy, buddy.
And all Ponyo's sisters are like cheering her on and stuff. Her little sisters.
Yeah, and this her escape sequence is fun too. The way she like makes a circle and pops the hole out, and all the water starts to spill out, and then she like cuts another hole in the wall, and the fish are flowing in, and she's trying to like go out. She's basically flooding his submarine, in order to get an exit route. But she does escape, and what she wants ultimately to do is find Sosuke. But little does she know, she's causing this giant tsunami, and now we get this incredible sequence of the tsunami flooding scene with these waves, eyeballs on them. It's like crazy.
Classic scene when like the waves almost look like fish, where they're like living sea creatures that are the waves. And then I love this scene when she's running on the waves, and Sosuke's in the car with Lisa, and he sees her, and she's just like running along. Yeah, she's like in that mid stage of like transitional stage where she's got like the feet and hands, but she's not quite fully human yet.
She's got like 3 digits on each hand and foot,
she's got like
right?
Little chicken legs and stuff.
And her face is kind of weird, different now.
Yeah.
And it starts like where it's just storming a little bit, and then I like you see I don't know if it's explicit, but like Sosuke is like kind of stepping up. I think he noticed his mom was frustrated because he's at school, and they're like, "Are you gonna wait for your mom to come pick you up?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna walk over there. I'll be fine. Like I'll savor the trip." I think he had the instinct. That was my reading of it. He had the instinct of, I'll savor the trip, and I'm gonna be a big boy, and I'll walk to her work, no problem.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's probably
so. He
true.
goes over there, and then the power's out, and so her coworker's like, "It's all right, Lisa. You get out of here. We're gonna stay here. We'll hold down the fort." And this chase scene, essentially the waves, is crazy. And I like when Lisa says to the workers who are like, "You can't go that way, go around." She's like, "Nah, I think I can make it." And she kind of goes across the sluice way, like with seconds to spare. She's a badass driver.
Is that when she's Tokyo drifting, or is that a different part?
Well, she was Tokyo drifting the whole time, even in daytime.
Right.
It's even more now. They had to establish her skill set in the first act so that it would pay off here. That we know she's a good driver. She'll take the job.
I was thinking, compared to Totoro, Sosuke has some similar qualities to Mei, or I guess the older daughter, which was Satsuki.
Oh yeah.
She's trying to help out her dad because, like, the dad is like Lisa, where he's taking care of the kids because the mom is sick in the hospital, so he's having to do everything. So the older daughter is trying to be more independent, like take care of things. And then Mei, the younger daughter, also there's a visual resemblance with Ponyo when she's fully human. She has some similar visual qualities to Mei, the younger daughter in Totoro.
No, absolutely. Even like I totally see that. And then she's like closer in age to where Sosuke and Ponyo are in this movie. But she'll kind of imitate things that Satsuki's doing to try to be a big kid, and like we'll see Ponyo imitating things that Sosuke is doing when she's learning to be a human, like how do hands work, and stuff like that, which is very cute. So we do get this sick chase, and eventually she catches up to them. Ponyo catches up to them, and she gets the bucket, and then Sosuke's like, "I saw there's a girl back there, in the storm. We got to help her." So Lisa pulls over, and then we see little Ponyo with the legs. She sees Sosuke get out of the car, and she runs at him and becomes human and gives him a big hug.
Yeah, she gives him dives. And that moment, again, some moments in her design and her animation are very like Mei and Totoro, because there's a moment where Mei hugs her sister, I think, in Totoro, where it's that exact same, where she like, gives her like a really forceful hug. Runs up
jumps
to her.
onto her. Yeah, and like that's the first time that she's become fully human now. And meanwhile, the storm is still kind of raging, but she's, so Lisa's like, "Hey, we got to get out of here. I'm the adult making the decision, get in the car. We're going." And she like, so they go back home. Them both back home to the house. And it's like, all right.
And they lose power because of the storm. So the power's out. So they have to, they have a generator. Well, they have a little light, like a little flashlight type of thing.
What's great for Lisa is she's like immediately like mom mode. Like they get in the house, like, "All right, you take your shoes off. I'm getting you a towel. Here's a light. Hey, can you help me? Can you be a big girl and help me, Ponyo? Help me find the generator and stuff." Like she's giving them.
Again, she's immediately like
responsibilities.
Oh yeah, I guess that fish is a human girl now. I'm just gonna roll with that.
She used to be a fish. Okay, let's go home.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, she's just taking care of the two kids, and they're like, "You know what? Let's have a nice hot drink." And she makes them some tea with honey.
And like learning to stir the tea. Like Ponyo's like observing, like, "Oh, this. So what do you do with the spoon? You do this, okay?" Like, figuring out how to be a human. I like that stuff. It's this is and then
when she's trying. Yeah, very cozy. And then when she's she goes out to start the generator, and it's not starting properly. She can't get it to start. And here we see Ponyo kind of use some of her magic, where she can kind of turn more fish-like and then use her magic in various ways to like start the generator or make a toy boat into a bigger boat that they can ride on and stuff later.
Yeah. I was thinking with the generator, they're like, "Oh, the fuel line is clogged." And I thought she could like understand the fluid dynamics and like unclog the liquid, but that might be thinking too much into it. But she does, she helps get the generator fixed, and we'll see some more of her magic later. But we get the storm is raging. I can't remember if we eat ramen yet, but the storm is going on, and Lisa eventually they get the generator going. She's like, "Hey, I got to go to the senior center and help people. Like you gotta." Oh, they do. They eat the ramen with ham.
Yeah, they eat the ramen first. Well, first they have the tea. They start the generator, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's have some food." And they're like, "Yeah, Ponyo loves ham." So they're like, "Okay, we're gonna make some nice ramen with ham." And of course, it's very nice to look at this food, right? Miyazaki always likes to make very visual appealing food in his movies and stuff and cooking. And so you see them put the noodles in the bowl, then the hot water, and then they're like, "Close your eyes." and then Lisa puts the ham and the egg and stuff in
That's
the
right.
bowls while they're not looking, and then they open it up. They're like, "Oh,
This is
ham!"
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It made me want. I don't have any ham on hand, but I wanted because you just make an instant ramen, get half of a hot soft-boiled egg in there and ham like that. Seems
right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another good cozy
So they're
scene.
having a great time.
They're having a great time, just doing fat. And again, it's just mom mode. Like, yeah, I'll take care of these kids. Make them some food, no problem. And then Ponyo falls asleep, and then that's when Lisa's like, okay, I think I gotta go back to the senior center. You got to hold down the fort, buddy. You got to
Yeah,
take care of Ponyo because our house is on the hill. People are going to come here. You need to be here if they show up.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ponyo just gets so sleepy. She just falls asleep. They tuck her in on the little couch, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a very nice scene.
Yeah. So basically, Lisa goes back to the senior center with all these supplies. Sosuke and Ponyo both fall asleep, and then we wake up the next morning and see that like the entire town is flooded. Like it is flooded up
Yeah,
to his back patio. Like it's pretty
and they
crazy.
yeah, basically their house is like on a hill, so now it's like literally an island because they're luckily high enough that that's the only thing that's not flooded, but there's just water all around their house.
Yeah.
So it's become an island, and they go
Yes.
out, they look under the water, and there's all these different kind of aquatic life swimming around, and it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, and just like that curiosity again, it's like nailing what kids are like. Like this
yeah,
is just kind of neat. Like,
yeah. They're
oh,
not like super surprised at it. They're just like, yeah, this is cool. Like, but Sosuke's a little worried about his mom too, because he's like, Lisa's not here. Like, we should try to go find Lisa.
mm-hmm.
And they
But
also
I
is
don't
this
have a
they go to
boat.
the right. Well, when they're on the boat, do they go to the senior center and they see like the empty wheelchairs, and they're like, oh, I hope like everyone's okay.
Yeah, they go on a little bit of it. This is kind of a longer segment of them looking for Lisa and finding where everybody is. But yeah, first they take his. Sosuke says, "I don't have a boat. How am I going to go find my mom?" And that's when Ponyo's like, "Yo, you
Right.
do have a boat. This one." And then she makes it big. Um,
Yeah, she uses her magic, makes it big, and then they use like a candle to as its engine. Like
so
the
these are
candle's
apparently
flame is like
real.
powering the boat.
They're called pop boats. I had to look them up, but yeah, you use a candle and it basically is like a little steam engine where water's being pulled in one side, heated, steamed,
mm,
and then becomes a propulsion. So I guess that's like a real like toy that someone would have had back in
that's
the
pretty cool.
days. So I thought that was cool
Yeah.
that it was like, oh, just a scaled up toy that still functions the way it would. That was a great
Right.
concept. So they're
Yeah. So they go
yeah, they
out
go
on
on
their
an
little boat.
adventure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like yeah, there's like all these aquatic animals and stuff, and Ponyo's like just telling Sosuke all about them and stuff, and they're like prehistoric, like
Yeah,
dinosaur looking things and stuff. She's like, those are the whatevers, and yeah,
like a
she's like giving him some
coelacanth.
aquatic knowledge. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that one's named this. That one's named that. Yeah, that's kind of
right.
cool. And this is where, yeah, we kind of meet various just townspeople in this caravan of boats, or they meet the mother with the baby eventually. Um, all while they're
Yeah,
like, "Hey, where's Lisa?" They're just basically saying, "Hey, isn't Lisa with you? Where's?" They're just looking for her. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah,
and this reminded me too of Porco Rosso when at the end when they're like people on the boats and stuff when they're doing when he's doing like the one-on-one
Oh,
duel
yeah.
with the other guy.
Yep, yep, yep.
Just all the people on the boats with the flags and everything.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, they run into like a young couple with a baby, and the baby's like crying and stuff, and Ponyo's like kind of cheers the baby up with just by being herself.
oh yeah. She gives her the soup, and then the mother drinks, and she's like, "No, that's for the baby." And she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah,
no, the baby can't have soup yet, but this will help me, make milk for the baby."
right.
It's like,
And Ponyo's
okay,
kind of fascinated by this baby because she's just learning all about human stuff.
yeah, she's never seen a
And then
baby
like
before.
yeah, as they're boating away, the baby's like crying, and she like jumps over and like sticks her face in the baby's face, which like cheers up the baby
Yep,
basically, and then she runs away.
yeah, which is just
Um,
curiosity and kindness, are kind of the theme
yeah,
things for this. Um, she gives away the
I just love
sandwiches
Ponyo's
too. Like, eat
attitude like
these.
throughout the movie. Like she's just a precocious little child.
Yeah, but she's not like scared or shy. Like she's very confident
No, she's
and she's just
very yeah,
curious. Yeah, I
she's
think that's great.
inquisitive.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, So they eventually do go to the senior center and find out, like, oh, the wheelchairs are there, so the grannies are gone. Where the heck could, do we go? And now
Right.
he's
Oh yeah,
trying
we
to.
didn't even talk about before this, like Fujimoto talking to Ponyo's mom, who's like the ocean goddess.
That's right. Now that things have gotten out of hand, she kind of shows up to talk to Fujimoto, like, what's going on with Ponyo? What? Fill me in.
Yeah.
And
This is another
yeah,
great animation scene when you see Grand Mamar, who's like, yeah, like this ocean goddess, who's like this beautiful woman that like is some kind of goddess who lives in the ocean, and yeah, pretty cool scene.
yeah, goddess of the sea, and basically they're discussing like, look, man, like the world is getting flooded and it's going real bad. What are we gonna do? And she's like, look, if Ponyo wants to become human, and Sosuke really loves her, then she can become a human, and everything will go back to normal. She'll have to just get rid of her
Right.
powers, and it'll be fine. So,
But if it's not true love or something, then she'll turn into sea foam.
yeah, which is from some type of lore. I think that's the Little Mermaid. She would turn into a
Right.
sea foam if she was something like that.
Yeah. And then Grandma Mars just like, well, we all came from sea foam originally, if you think about it.
That's true. We're all
good point.
came out of the Cambrian Ocean. Oh yeah, she's like, oh, this is like my ocean, the Cambrian era or whatever. Like, look at all these life forms.
Yeah.
So she's like 300 million years old at least.
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess then eventually we have Grandma Mare setting up like this safe zone where the grannies are and Lisa, because she went back to the senior center.
They use some magic to make so that the people can breathe underwater, or it's like a bubble.
At first, yeah.
But it's some kind of magic because all the older ladies are like, oh, we can like walk now, and like we feel young. And they're almost like, yeah, are we like dead? Like, is this the afterlife we're in right now? Because it's, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah, actually, I don't mind it. Yeah, and they're running around, having foot races. Yeah, that's really great to see. Because the granny mentions that in the first act. Oh, the fish fixed your cut. I wonder if she could fix my back or my wet legs,
Right.
But the Grandma Mare can. So, yeah, I thought that was really fun. The youthful ladies. Because that was reminding me of Howl's Moving Castle when we had a young old lady,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Fujimoto's just trying to get Ponyo and him to come back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, I'm just trying to think of the next thing because Ponyo's starting to return back to Fish, because they find Lisa's car, but she's not there, and then Ponyo starts getting really sleepy. And she's starting to transform.
So they go out in the boat. The candle kind of runs out, and Ponyo gets sleepy. So he's like, we have another candle. Can you like make it big with your magic? But she's like falling asleep. So they go back to land, and he's kind of like dragging her back to the house. And then she kind of starts turning back into a fish. But then Fujimoto shows up and is like, look, I'll take you to your mom, and like, all the older ladies are down there, like you and I'll take you and Ponyo there. And he's like, I don't trust this guy.
And the other older lady who was suspicious of Ponyo was like, don't trust that guy. Don't trust him. So come over here. So she's
the kind of cranky old lady who's like the only one that didn't go with them to the underwater bubble is like, don't trust that. Like something's weird's going on here. He's like, guess what? I'm going to take you all down here. Everything's fine. Just relax.
Yep. He's so tired. He's like, God, no, come on. You got to come with me. Like, come on.
So he takes him down there, and then finally Sosuke and Lisa reunite. And
well, I like that we
Lisa
have that's exactly what I like. The scene where Lisa and Grandma Mare are talking, and it's just like, two moms chatting. Like there's it's just kind of nice. I don't know. It's like
like I guess our kids are in love now and they're friends.
You're gonna take care of Ponyo forever if I let her become human.
Right. I want to know, what, like, did she just go to live with Lisa and their family now?
That's what I'm assuming. A human? Yeah. But, I mean, I assume, like, again, it's not like this romantic love. It's just like, I love Ponyo as whatever Ponyo is, a fish, a weird duck. Like, she's my best friend, my sister, whatever.
Maybe when they get older,
maybe when they get older, but I think at this stage, who's to say?
Right.
But I assume she would live with them and with Koichi and Lisa and Sosuke. I think that was the arrangement. I guess
So
they figured that.
basically,
Calamari figured that out with Lisa. Hey, take care of my
yeah.
daughter.
And Ponyo is like becoming more and more fish-like and getting smaller. And then she's like in this bubble, and they're like, okay, if you can give her, give her a kiss, Sosuke, and then she'll turn into a real human.
When you get to land, yeah, kiss the bubble, and
Yeah,
she'll turn into a real girl. Um, so everyone starts returning back to the land, and
but she'll relinquish her magical powers
that's right.
permanently when she transforms into her.
Oh, and this is
That's what
good too because they do
Calamari.
ask him. They're like, "Look, Sosuke, this is only going to work if you really love Ponyo. Do you love her really?" And he's like, immediately, "Yes, I love all the
Yeah,
Ponyos." Like no
as a
hesitation. And
fish, as a person, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
this is where that "Would you love me if I was a worm" problem started. You know,
right. Would you love me if I
Sosuke
was a little
would.
fish with a human face?
Yep, Sosuke would
Yeah,
love you even if you were a worm. That's how pure he is.
right,
But then when
right.
they ask her, would you relinquish your powers immediately? She's like, yeah, like no problem, no hesitation whatsoever. She's immediately like certain in her goal and her direction. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
And Fujimoto's more okay with this situation now, and so everything kind of works out. And he takes them back to land, including all the older ladies.
hmm
And
but
that's kind of how the movie ends.
yeah, I think the bubble at some point gets bounced out of the bucket or floats up, and I think it's Ponyo who kisses Sosuke, and because she's like
Right.
floating in midair in that famous shot. Um,
Yeah. She jumps up, they kiss, and then it kind of freeze frames, and then it goes into, a little circle, and that's how it ends on them two kissing.
Yep. And she's a real girl now, and that's pretty much the end of it. Yeah, Fujimoto, though, he does, I like when he shakes Sosuke's hand. He's like, you know what? You're all right, kid. And humanity.
Yeah.
It's all going to be
Right.
okay. Um,
Yep.
and yeah, that's Ponyo, essentially.
Yep.
Totoro
Um,
with water.
yeah. Yeah, it's like not a lot happens plot wise, but again, it's more of a slice of life kind of movie. And it's this magical fairy tale. And it's just a nice little movie,
Yeah,
just pleasant.
yeah, I have to compare it. Yeah, Totoro's the closest comp because it is just this kind of, not a lot happens except maybe one thing happens. Like in Totoro, May goes missing for like 10 minutes and then we
Yeah,
find her. The rest of it is just kind of hanging out. And like this is a lot of
right.
hanging out, whether it's there's a flood, that's like the only thing that happens. The rest of it is going to
Yeah,
school,
Lisa goes
making
missing for a little
ramen.
bit, so it's similar to like the mom in Totoro, where it's like, oh, she's sick in the hospital. Like, is she gonna die? And this is gonna take like a really depressing turn or something. But then it's like, no, she's actually all right. She's fine. May went
hmm
missing, but she's fine. Um, and
It's
so that's
fine.
kind of similar to this movie. Where it's like, oh yeah, Lisa and all the elderly ladies go missing, or at least Sosuke doesn't know where they are, and is a little
hmm
bit worried. But then it all works out in the end.
Yeah. Again, everybody's just pretty chill about it. Like even the couple with their baby, they have like a sun umbrella. Like it looks like they're on a picnic, but it's like your house got flooded. Why? But they're like, no, we're chill about it.
Yeah,
We're just chill about it. Like
you
everybody's.
see yeah, you see some of the shots of the flooded like houses underwater and stuff, and you're like,
hmm
oh, you'd think people would be more worried, but no, they're pretty chill with it all.
Well, I think the message, I guess, is things are temporary, but as long as all the people are okay, as long as the people of the village
Yeah,
survived, that's more important than your house.
and respect the
But
balance of nature,
hmm
of course,
and eat ham. Ham
and
is
eat ham.
yeah, the ham in this is like corn in Totoro. That's a very important piece of food.
Yeah, I was thinking
Um,
about like, yeah, it's like the first thing that she eats when she meets
hmm
Sosuke. Like first, he's got a ham sandwich. He offers her some bread, and she's like, no, turns her head away.
hmm
And he's like, well, maybe you like some ham. And he like bites off a little piece, and then she like steals the
The
bigger
whole.
piece from the sandwich.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's great.
But like a fish eating ham is at least she's not eating sushi, because that would be
Yeah, that's
cannibalism.
true. That would be cannibalism. That's true. But
But
wait, if
ham's
she
a
transitioned to become human, is she allowed to eat sushi? If she's in human
mm.
form, is it okay?
But then she's eating her brothers and sisters,
Oh,
her
you know
aquatic
what? Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
It's like Lord of the
Might be too
Rings when
close
they,
to home.
yeah. They find the pipeweed in Lord of the Rings and they're like, oh, don't tell Treebeard we're smoking this. It could be a cousin. Like,
Oh yeah.
so no more fish in the Lisa Koichi household.
I heard
Um,
the Ents like to smoke it up though. That's what I
Yeah,
hear.
they just take a long time. Uh, yeah,
Smoke that old Toby.
yeah. Well, they flooded Isengard, so that's two flooding moments that we can tie these two ideas together. We've done it.
Yeah.
Um,
And because they were trying to industrialize and burn down the forest and stuff, the orcs.
they weren't having
Right.
harmony with nature. That's right. So
Exactly. Very similar.
similar themes, very similar movies, totally.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Um,
but yeah,
yeah.
let's
Ponyo.
I know final thoughts on Ponyo.
Let's do it.
Swim on over right after this. We're back. We're on dry land. We got a fish friend become a human now, and we are talking our final thoughts on Ponyo on the cliff by the sea.
Yes.
Gaki no way no Ponyo. Um, yeah, man, I think I like it more than Totoro. As like
Mm,
a kind of vibes only movie. I think I enjoyed it more than Totoro, specifically because of I think the Lisa character and just that it's just something that these movies don't really do. And I just really like
yeah.
Lisa as a character. Like she's such a strong like motherly figure and is trusting Sosuke to be more independent. Like I think she's really well done.
Right. Yeah, it's hard for me to say because I mean I think they're both really nice. Again, it's like Miyazaki doesn't have any bad movies, so it's hard to
No,
rank them of like, like especially these two because yeah, they are so similar and they're both sort of slice of life with magical elements, fantastical
and
elements.
single parents,
Um yeah, single parent, raising kids, you see that relationship. But I agree, I do love the Lisa Sosuke dynamic
hmm
and it's not something again we've seen in Miyazaki a lot. Oftentimes his protagonist is like a young girl or something like that. So to
hmm
see obviously Sosuke and Ponyo together are kind of the protagonists, but to see Sosuke is such a great character within the Miyazaki um, body of work.
Yeah, because like with Kiki, she has kind of several motherly figures who are like mentors to her throughout that, like we said, and then Sen and Yubaba and the other lady who works there and stuff. Like, so we've seen this kind of thing, even Mononoke with the wolf mother, and it's like still mother daughter stuff. So to have mother son, we don't really get that. Um,
Yeah, and it gives me good vibes, and it reminds me even when I was a young lad, and because my dad would be away at work, and my mom would
hmm
have to, take care of me and my siblings a lot of time during the day by herself because she was a stay-at-home mom for most of my childhood.
hmm
And so yeah, it gives me good vibes, and it reminds me of you know, when I was in school and we'd have a snow day, and what a great feeling that was to wake up in the morning and be like, it's a snow day. We're staying home from school. And then my mom, my siblings and me and my mom would hang out. We'd like go sledding and like
hmm
go inside and like have hot cocoa, watch movies and all that stuff. So, um, just, real cozy vibes, just like what they do in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I can't really put my finger on exact because Totoro's great too. But yeah, something about this one, it's just cozier. Maybe it's the ramen and the hot tea with honey. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it brings up good memories of my own childhood. So,
yeah.
definitely good vibes.
And also like when Miyazaki was kind of growing up, maybe he was probably a little bit older than this, but like in the 70s, 60s, 70s, maybe mid 60s, there was like a generation of Japanese kids, the latchkey generation, because a lot of
Right.
their both parents were working at that point in post-war economy. So there's some Godzilla movies about that. It's not very good,
Uh,
but this idea of a generation of young kids who had to become independent really quickly. And I think this kind of
sure.
speaks to that a little bit too of like, yeah, 5 years old, you kind of had to have your stuff figured out at a certain thing. Um,
Yeah, I think America had that too. Like Gen X was kind of known as latchkey
yeah,
kids, which was the generation before us. I mean, we're millennials, right?
yeah.
But
So that's like
Gen
70s
X,
growing
who
up.
was raised in the 70s and stuff, like post-war
hmm
economy, like you said. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I love Lisa. She again reminds me of my own mother when I was a young lad. So I just have like this movie gives me a sense of nostalgia,
Mm.
even though obviously I wasn't raised in a seaside Japanese town,
Right.
but the sentiment is still there of like this mother son relationship that reminds me of my own childhood.
Yeah, and I don't think the father is ever um like in the same scene as them. Like he's always on the
Yeah.
boat. Even at the
You
end,
literally
he's
only
not.
see him from the boat. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
and the only time that you really see him is like when they communicate via Morse code with the lights and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it.
Koichi.
One phone call. But then you do see Koichi's perspective on the boat where he's like, "Hey, that's my kid. He's running the Morse code all by himself. Isn't that cool?" Like he's very proud of his son. It's just
Yeah.
they got to be at work.
Yeah.
So,
And his son looking up to his dad, like being interested in boats and stuff. Again, this movie, being a Miyazaki movie, doesn't have any planes or aviation, which is interesting. But I guess they just replace it with boats and stuff instead.
there's there's a little bit of like rescue helicopters like after the flooding,
Hmm,
but that's
that's
the
true.
extent of
Yeah,
it.
right
The
at the end.
closest you get is the weird wings on his submarine. It's not really an
Yeah,
aircraft, but it has this weird kind of
right.
propulsion,
But
I'd say.
flying and you know, swimming around in the ocean and flying are kind of similar. It's just in water instead of air.
Yeah.
So if you think about it that way, like it's similar.
Yeah. I
No
mean, way of
airships or
water.
anything in this one, but regular ships instead of airships.
Regular ships for sure. I have to think that this, there's another anime director I watched all of his works in recent years. That's Makoto Shinkai. And like this movie, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like has to inspired a lot of his filmography because a lot of his films are about like young love, and then there's always an element of water, like rain and water and lakes. Like he's always around water with his themes and like coming of age stuff.
Like
And
Your
this,
Name and stuff.
yeah, like Your Name, Weathering with You. So this just felt like kind of almost a Makoto Shinkai movie when I was watching it
Mhm.
too, just because the amount of the way water plays into it and just themes of like love and whatever. I was like, huh, I wonder if he saw this and was like, you know what, I fuck with that. Um,
Yeah, probably.
but
I mean, I
yeah,
assume everyone
that's
in every Japanese animator has like seen all of Miyazaki and is like very inspired by the godfather of Japanese animation.
yeah, like Western animators.
Right.
Have you ever seen a Disney movie? No, who's that? Like
Yeah.
of course, it might have had
Right.
some subtle influence, but that's because I really like Makoto Shinkai movies, and I think that it gave off that kind of vibe, and that's probably why I like it more than Totoro. It just kind of clicked with me that
Yeah.
water,
Shinkai, yeah. I haven't seen that like many of his movies yet, but that's one that I've definitely heard a lot about him, and I wanted to check out some of his other movies besides Your Name. So I'm definitely gonna like look into his filmography more because I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah, there's not that many. I think it's only five or something, but I think Weathering with You
Right.
is my favorite one. And I don't know why. They
Okay.
have a really big storm in that one too, and this movie reminded me of that one, just in
Uh-huh.
vibes, about growing up and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, Makoto Shinkai, he's great too. But
I'm
Ponyo,
just looking it up.
yeah,
Hmm.
Your Name, Suzume, Weathering with You.
Right. Suzume. Yeah. The only one I've seen so far is Your Name, but I've definitely heard good things about Suzume and even his earlier films, which aren't as well known.
Yeah, Five
Um,
Centimeters is one that's really popular, but you can tell it's like cruder animation because it's early in his career, but um,
right.
yeah, the themes are all still there. But anyway. That's another director to check out, listeners. If you like this stuff, and if you like water, and if you like Ponyo a lot, you'll probably like Shinkai's stuff a lot because similar theming and whatever. So
Yeah. I like Ponyo. I mean, it definitely ranks lower on my overall scale of all of
hmm
Miyazaki's films. But again, I think that's just the nature of it being more of a children's film. I think it's obviously, again, really beautifully animated and just a
yeah,
very imaginative and colorful film. Uh, so I can't say anything negative about it. It's just not going to rate as high as, some of his other films, which are more geared to a more mature audience, I guess.
yeah. And I think I read somewhere on Wikipedia that they said that they shut down the computer animation department to focus on hand animating. So I think this one might be not like the computer, like with Howls, they had
100%
to use the
hand
CG
animated.
to animate the castle and stuff like that. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
computer work happening. This,
And
I
even in
think,
Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away, like they use some computer
yeah.
imagery and stuff just to
So I
make also it just makes things more efficient too, like the workflow because it takes so long to make hand drawn animation. I mean, it's worth it still, but it's not the most efficient way to make a film.
No, but yeah, but I think they said they stayed away from the computer as much as possible. They really leaned
Yeah.
into the hand drawn, and it's so kinetic and even stuff with how much there's water, right? Obviously. So when things are just wet and there's like, it's reflecting, when you're like on a wet street and the street lights are reflecting on it and stuff like that. Like they're
Yeah.
animating that kind of stuff, like the reflection of the car on the wet road or whatever with the tail lights, like little stuff like that they're doing. It's like,
Yeah.
man, you guys are going
So
crazy.
many details.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many shots where I'm like, this just looks incredible, even for such like a simple film in terms of like the plot and stuff, like the fairy tale plot. It's like
Hmm.
like it's not hard to, it's not too complex, but it's just so beautiful to look at.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
And
could, it's again, he finds Ponyo, Fujimoto gets Ponyo back, Ponyo returns, but there's a storm. Then they find
yeah,
everybody and they go back home. Like not a lot's going on, but
right. And
within the
there's still so
frame
much
and
imagination within
yeah.
the movie, even with such a simple plot.
Yeah, and I don't know where it's going to rank. Obviously, lower with like with you. I have Totoro pretty low because I'm not the target demographic. I don't think it's a bad movie, but like something can be very
Yeah.
good and also not made for me, and so it's just not for me. But that doesn't mean I didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Totoro does, I mean, it's also beautiful too. Like it does, like Ponyo is like the seaside village, and then
Mm-hmm.
Totoro is like rural, scenic Japan in the 50s. And
Yeah.
they're both like incredibly scenic and beautiful to look at. So you can't say anything obviously about Miyazaki's animation other than it's the
No,
best.
man. Yeah, it's the best.
But if you're doing a full ranking of his entire filmography, something's got to be last, something's got to be at the bottom. I don't know if this is his worst. I wouldn't even say it's his worst film, but it's just I don't know what his worst film is because he doesn't have any bad films.
It's like we can't even say it's worse. It's like the least best. It's the least best of his because they're all so
Yeah,
good.
right.
Um, and I
But we'll
think this would
see.
be something incredible to show to a 5-year-old kid. Like I'd choose
Yeah,
this over maybe a lot of Western cartoon, like over Fishtail. Are you kidding me?
right.
Right? It's Ponyo
Fishtail
100% of
with
the time.
Will Smith.
Trolls? Like no way, dude.
Yeah.
Like what the
No,
kind of
people should
slop that we're
watch
putting out.
Fishtail,
Even something
2004.
like
Will
Minions. Like
Smith,
no way, dude.
Martin Scorsese voice
Oh
in
gosh.
Fishtail.
I've never seen that to be
Um.
fair, but
Oh,
I know it's worse than this.
that's great. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just like CG animation sort of taking over, obviously, from hand drawn. Like hand drawn traditional 2D animation is never going to come back in the same way, but it's always great to see like just a really well made 2D animated film. And there's so
Hmm.
much craft that goes into it. Um,
No,
not
when I
nothing
think of
against CG, and there's some really great CG animated movies as well, but yeah, I still prefer the hand drawn look for sure.
no, the craft here is incredible. Even outside is the look. When I think of what I like to call them babysitter movies, like the kind of just CG slop that's churned out, and the like,
Yeah,
it really stands for nothing. When this is like, hey, here's you can be independent and just believe in yourself and believe in your friends. Like that's so much better.
right. Was the whole thing like just because you're making a kids movie doesn't mean it has to be like crap.
Dumb.
Like you can make a good like there's the Emoji movie and like the Angry Birds movies, like all these
Right.
trash like
That's what I'm referring
CG
to.
products and trolls and stuff like you said. But
You
yeah,
can have
kids
sophisticated
movies
messaging.
don't automatically have to be bad, right? And we
Hmm.
used to do that with like Disney movies and stuff. There's a lot of really good Disney movies from back in the day that were aimed at a younger audience that still really hold up, like you know, whatever, Cinderella and Snow White and all those.
Like the
So it's like
classics.
we can still
Yeah.
do it, but now everything's got to be like, it's got to have quips and stuff, and it's got to have pop culture references and
Have
stuff. And it's just
meme
like,
and brain rot.
man, yeah,
Nope.
I don't know. Things used to be better, but uh,
Indeed, they did. Uh,
at least Miyazaki's still doing it the old-fashioned way.
yeah.
And
I mean,
next
he's
month,
retired for the fourth time, but yeah, next month we only got two more
yeah,
now.
that's right. Only two more, and both when they were being made were sort of supposed to be the final film for Miyazaki and sort of his his way of saying goodbye for his whole career, like his magnum
Yeah.
opus of the end of his career.
So is he going to make up for the lack of airplanes in this movie and the next one, do you think?
I would say so. So the next movie is The Wind Rises, which you've never seen.
Nope.
Um, I'll be interested to see what you think of it. It's actually one of my favorite Miyazaki films, and it is interesting. It's the least like magical and fantastical in that
Hmm.
it is like a more historical, like it's literally just like a biopic
Whoa.
about the guy that created the planes that were used as kamikaze pilots in
Right.
World War II, the Zero planes that they would use.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it's very interesting. It's dealing with Miyazaki's thoughts on war and all that good stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun, but it is like a historical biopic, so in animated form. So I'll be interested to see what you think of it.
Yeah.
The Wind Rises, that'll be next month.
Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to that. And then, as we said, next week we're going to be talking live action and something that's
That's
definitely not
right.
aimed towards children. The very adult HBO
Well,
medieval series, A Night
I mean,
of
one of the
Seven
main
Kingdoms.
characters is a child.
He is a child, but I don't know if I would let a child of 5 years watch this. Ponyo is
Sure.
fine, but the main character, there is a
Yeah.
child who's the main character for sure.
Right. Yeah, we're talking A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spin-off, which we'll be talking about next week. Super excited for that. And by the way, did you know we're getting more Hot D this year as well?
Really, this
House of the
year?
Dragon season 3 coming out in June.
Okay.
So a lot of Game of Thrones this year. We love it. Hopefully season 3 will be better than season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, it'll be as good as Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Not to give away how we're feeling about it, but
Yep.
we'll talk.
We'll talk about it.
And
Uh,
yeah, and then of course, 2 months we'll have The Boy and the Heron. Did you see that one when it came out?
nope. These are
No.
all brand new from here on out. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited to finish it out. But I thought I was gonna like Ponyo less because I would always heard like, oh, it's the most childish one. But it's very
Yeah.
charming. Yeah, and again, there's no bad ones. So I'm excited to see what the next
Yeah,
two will be
really.
like.
Yeah, I just put it in a bucket with My Neighbor Totoro, where it's like, yeah, these are really good children's movies and really charming and really nice to look at. But again, if you compare it to Princess Mononoke or Howl's Moving Castle, it's like hard to compare, the complexity of those movies with these movies, which it's just a different pace. Like sometimes it's nice
Hmm.
to have a nice little slice of life children's film.
Yep,
Um, but yeah, Ponyo, it's great. We'll do our ranking at the end of
we will
our
do a
long form
ranking.
series. And that'll be interesting
Hmm.
to see where everything ranks for you and for Colin. And hopefully we'll get Colin, if Colin has any additional thoughts on Ponyo, we'll get them at a later date.
Hmm.
Um, I think he's trapped in a bubble right now. Unfortunately, we're going to have to break him out.
Oh, he's gonna have to lick my cut finger. That would not be good.
Yeah,
Oh no. All right. Well,
he's
we'll
going
try
to
to
get
get him
the taste
back.
of human blood. Right.
Once Colin gets a taste of human blood, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's Ponyo.
Yeah, that's Ponyo. And that's, I guess, Normies Like Us. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram. Write in what you think about Ponyo, what your favorite Miyazaki movies are. Do you like Makoto Shinkai? I don't know. Let us know. And otherwise, yeah, I guess
Yes.
we've been your hosts.
That's right. Check us
Hayao
out on.
Miyazaki. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, check us out on YouTube, of course, as always, to see our beautiful faces and to see
A little
Mike's
boat.
3D printed little boat. And we always appreciate the views and the likes and all that stuff, the subscribes, the shares,
The comments.
the comments. So, yeah. This is Jake Yo.
All right. And I am Hayao Miyazaki signing off. Ja mata ato de ne. We'll catch you next time.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Bye.
I love ham.